They are using you as a force against me, and you're standing and you're telling me, this is what I will do. Michael, fuck you. It has just started, Michael. I'll crush Emma. I will trash Emma. Better remove yourself from that woman, or you will be crushed along. I have a son from Sierra Leonean president's daughter. Former Sierra Leonean president's daughter. If you don't know and he's your age mate, so stop bragging, nigga. But that's one that a prostitute's daughter made for me. That's what you are. Trailer, jam your head, bust down for road, make you dramatic. Shovel, scrape am for ground, go put am for dustbin. Don't write me again. Don't call me. I don't want to see you. Because when I come for you, you will shed to death.
So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Shortly after EMEKA Ike's ex-wife's interview aired, that with her son, their first child, Michael, followed suit. This interview has stirred plenty of controversies. Controversies surrounding the question whether Emma was manipulating the children against their father. Questions about whether Michael should have granted that interview in the first place, bashing his father in public. Questions about what he witnessed as a child between his parents. And of course, questions surrounding the viral voice notes. All of these and more will be discussed in this video. But before we delve into that analysis, let me give us a quick recap of Michael's account in that interview. Michael started off by saying that he was trying to broker peace, to mediate between his parents, play the role of Diokpala first son, and stay neutral in the matter. You know, that role that many adult children find themselves playing when our parents start that their old age feuding. You call mommy, mommy would complain and complain. You call daddy, daddy would rant. And you are just in the middle wondering how an unmarried you, or you that have just been married for 2 years, have become a conciliator between two people who have been married for 20, 30 years. But most adult children play it. And so you call your mother, you tell her, mommy, calm down, it's enough. And then you call your father and you say, daddy, please stop. It's okay. And you see yourself acting in the capacity of an arbitrator. Many adult children play that role. A child cannot be a child forever. So yes, Michael said that he was trying to reason with his father on how calm can be restored to their family. Yes, his mother and his father were not together. His father is remarried, fine. But they do not have to have so much enmity between them. They can coexist peacefully. They have 4 children together. But Michael said the more he tried to reason with his father didn't see it that way at all. His father saw it as him trying to dictate to him, trying to lord him, trying to boss him. And so he resisted and showed plenty of uncooperation. Michael said he was really appalled when he saw his father's interview and wondered why his father had to go online bringing their family issues to the public, especially when he as the child was doing everything he could to broker peace. He said that his dad, EMEKA Ike, had steadily warned him not to speak, not to dare speak, or risk being crushed. But that he chose to proceed with that interview against his mother's objection. He wanted to speak up. He wanted to speak out. And despite his mother insisted, refused him to be a part of the interview, he put his foot down that he wanted to speak. Michael addressed the possibility of people saying that his mother had turned him against his father. He answered by saying that on the contrary, it was his father who had twisted his mind, worked on him mentally for years to hate his mother and turn them against her. He said that their father, EMEKA Ike, had brainwashed them into accepting that their mother was a prostitute and a druggie, an irresponsible woman who abandoned her children and took off with different men, prostituting and doing drugs. He said that when his mother sent videos of herself crying and pleading to see her children, his father would show him the video, telling him that this is the effect of the drugs, that she's acting under the influence, that it was the drugs making her act that way, that she is an addict, and that his mother has never ever said one thing to discredit their father before them, before she left and even after she reconnected with them, and that a lot of things he was hearing in that interview, he was hearing it for the first time. He said his mom had never ever badmouthed EMEKA IKE. Rather, it was EMEKA IKE, his dad, that was constantly badmouthing her, calling his mom a prostitute and a drug addict who abandoned her children and took off to do drugs. Michael explained that the effects of what his father had told him about his mother and the picture he had of her had turned him into a troubled child growing up. That it messed him up big time, and it led him to being highly recalcitrant and obstinate. He said that he would pick fights everywhere and with everyone. He was literally angry with the world, angry at who his mother was, angry about everything. Speaking about his relationship with his father, Michael admitted that the first day he set his eyes on his mother again, the first day they reconnected, the first thing he told his mother was, "I really hate my father." So that kind of feeling towards his father had already existed long before Emma resurfaced, long before Emma got back into the picture. He said that everything he knows about his father, every way he feels about his father, he grew to see, he grew to form. Nobody cajoled him. He experienced his dad by himself and he hated it. He narrated how his dad had always been verbally abusive towards him, how his father would say very mean and hurtful things to puncture his self-esteem. His dad would constantly tell him that he cannot amount to nothing, that he would end up at the roadside sleeping on the floor, and that he would drive by and see him languishing on the floor and he would spit on him and speed off, and that he would become a non-entity. On the issue of domestic violence, Michael asserted that his father, in an attempt to clear his head from memory of the truth, had hypnotized him over the years to believe that everything he saw, everything he witnessed didn't exist, didn't happen. Everything he watched play out between his parents while growing up was just a mirage. He said that he was made to believe that his dad did not beat his mom, but he knew what he knew and he remembers what he saw. He said it was almost like the scale fell out of his eyes on this day, like it came to a sharp and sudden realization of the truth. And he pinched himself and said, "Why am I telling myself that my dad did not beat my mother? Because he did. I saw it. I lived through it. He did beat her." He said that everything his mother said on domestic violence, physical abuse, verbal abuse were true, and that he watched his father brutalize his mother while growing up as a child. And oh yes, he remembers it like it was yesterday. He concluded by saying that he is pretty scared for himself, that he does not want to end up like his dad. He said that he wants nothing from his dad because to his dad, he is dead, and that he owes his mother a big apology for everything that he may have said or done, acting in ignorance or by reason of misinformation. At this point, Emma came in to say no, that the children are not the ones that owe the parents an apology, that they are the ones that owe the children an apology for all this mess, and that they will be seeking professional help. They will be seeking therapy, and that as soon as she gets the resources to, the funds to, they will go to therapy to heal from everything because they are damaged. Whew. It was quite an interview. Having gotten all of these in detail, let us begin critically analyzing them point by point. And as we do, please drop your opinions about how you feel on each and every point down in the comment section. On the question as to why Emma brought their son into the feud between her and her ex-husband, some people have greatly condemned Emma for this. They believe that this battle is between Emma and her ex-husband EMEKA. The children are not parties to this feud because they were not there when these two adults were taking life decisions. They believe that children should be off limits, and that if she felt the need to speak, she should have spoken alone. She should have come to that interview alone. Why expose the child to public criticism and ridicule? Now, a lot of people are calling this boy names on social media. Why didn't she protect the child rather than put her own interest at the front burner? They said that she could have done more to insist that Michael does not join in that interview. She should have faced her ex-husband head on without mingling the children in the whole mess. They spoke very strongly against that move. On the contrary, the people on the other side of the fence are like, hello, excuse me. This is an adult, not a child. He is their child, yes, but he is an adult male. You can't even bust 12-year-olds like that again in the current dispensation. What makes you think that you can bust a 20-something-year-old man with a full mustache? They said the interview clearly started by saying that Emma insisted that Michael shouldn't be part of it, but he put his foot down, that he wants to stand beside her and talk. And that at this point, it was important for somebody else who lived in that house, who experienced the whole issue, who witnessed it, to speak up. And that no friend or colleague can know a man or a woman more than his family, more than her family, more than the people that live with her and witness that person when the facade is gone. There are a lot of people that are very charismatic on the outside, but speak to their wife and children if you want to know who that person truly is. So cut with the crap of his colleague said he's a gentleman, he's a Nollywood friend, said he's the best man in the world. Nobody can tell you about the man or a woman better than that person who is married to them or the child who resides with them. And that is good that Michael came to speak on his own experience. After all, EMEKA has been the one granting all the interviews. So now that for the first time they decided to speak, they are now the problem. This set of people believe that if all they said is true, no son, no adult son will stand and watch his father terrorize his mother and not do anything. Many of these people condemning these boys, they have literally held their father's hand when their father made to strike their mother. No grown-up man will sit back and watch his father treat the mother anyhow. He would definitely object and he would definitely rise against that move. So on this debate, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Michael should have stayed away from this entirely? Even if he wanted to mediate or act as a conciliator, he should have done that away from public eyes. He shouldn't have granted that interview. He should have stayed neutral and not openly take the side of his mother. Or do you think that he did right? His mom is divorced. He acts in the stead of his mother's husband, and it is his job to protect, flap his protective wings around his mother and shield her from any danger, any harm and any threat, even if that threat and harm is his father. What are your thoughts on this? On the second point, the possibility of EMEKA Ike's ex-wife Emma turning her children against their father. Many people have argued that naturally, they don't know whether it is the placenta or the umbilical cord, that naturally children tend towards their mother. Children take the side of their mother in the face of a dispute. Children feel more emotionally stronger and compelled towards their mother than their father, and that is how nature has made it. And that a child would typically toe the emotional path than the logical path when dealing with issues concerning their parents. As soon as the mother starts crying, their dad is the bad guy. They argue that we cannot pretend not to know that women turn the hearts of their children against their father. in the eye of a feud, portraying themselves as the victim, saying all that the man did this, he did that, while skipping what they did. They said that yes, of course, it was obvious that Michael was being manipulated by Emma, and that Emma was a bad woman, to turn the hearts of these children against the man who raised them in her absence. That is one school of thoughts. The debates are very heated on social media. But when some other people, the other set of people heard this, they laughed in African misogyny. Of course it's the woman's fault. It's always the woman's fault. Come on, this is Africa. The man is blameless. When a man is helping his family, he is a good son of the soil who is taking care of the family. He takes credit for that. But when a man is stingy towards his family, it is his wife. His wife is not allowing their son, their brother, to help them. Welcome to Africa chauvinism, where a man will beat his wife and his wife will take the blame. Where a man will cheat on his wife and his wife will take the blame. His wife would be the one to take the advice, not the man, not the perpetrator doing it. It's the wife. The victim is the one that would take the blame, the shame, and the advice. Why didn't you dress sexy? Dress sexy for him. Cook for him. Don't talk when he's talking. You are the one that provoked him. Assuming you were doing different styles in the bedroom, he wouldn't have gone out. Welcome to Africa, where it is a woman's fault that she got raped because she didn't dress well. Welcome to the utmost height of misogyny, where a woman dies and it is the Lord gives and the Lord takes. But when a man dies, it is his wife that killed him. Welcome to Africa, where a full-grown man is relaying his adult and childhood experience with his father. But somehow, people still find a way to blame the mother for what he's saying. She is the one that caused him to be talking like that. She is the one that influenced him. She is the one that turned his heart against his father. Welcome to Africa, where it is always the woman's fault. According to this set of people, this boy literally grew up with his father. He transitioned from childhood to adulthood under the watch of his father. He resided with his father with no connection, no relationship with his mother. And if there is anybody in the world in a position to brainwash that child against the other, if there was anybody in a position to hypnotize that child, it is certainly the father that he grew up with, not the mother that he never knew, he never saw. Why are we like this in Africa? The woman who he had no contact with, no interface with for more than 10 years is the one that resurfaced and now turned him against the man that he has been with for the most part of his life. A 20-something-year-old man is speaking, telling you his experience with his father and with his mother, telling you what he lived through. And just because you want to vilify the woman so bad, just because we need to convince ourselves that this woman is lying, just because we desperately need it to be her fault, it has to be her fault, we put our foot down and say that the boy has been brainwashed. We are truly a wonderful people. A boy that said that the first thing he said to his mother when they reconnected was that he despised his father. Where then did Emma hypnotize him? Was it in his dreams? She even said that she is the one that started working on them, working on their minds not to feel that way about their father. But yet, we only see what we want to see. So no matter the facts staring at us in the face, we ignore it and we come up with theories that favor an already built narrative in our heads. This set of people believe that Emma has no influence at all with the way Michael feels for his father. So what do you think about this, guys? Do you think that truly Emma has played a role to influence their children negatively against EMEKA IKE? Or do you believe the young man when he said that it was even his father that tried to turn them against their mother, and that he was speaking from his own experience of the both of them? Do let me know what you think about this point down in the comment section. On the issue of domestic violence, we had the young man state clearly unequivocally that his father was highly abusive towards his mother, both verbally and physically, and that he saw it growing up as a young child. Some people have still disputed this testimony, saying that he was lying. Although I have searched and I have not found concrete reason why these set of people believe that Michael is lying. If you fall under this category, please be kind to let us know in the comment section why you believe that Michael is lying about his father being violent against his mother. But some people, on the other hand, believe him wholeheartedly, and they have applauded his courage to speak up. They believe that no one can be truthful in issues regarding husband and wife as much as a child that those two people bore. They're like in the middle ground. They tend to be honest and neutral because it is their parents, and that child lives with both of them. And that in this case, Michael even has a lot more to lose by speaking against EMEKA IKE than he has to gain. So why would he choose to lie against his father? He's a man. He knows that he would get married soon. Why would he choose to lie that his father hit his mother when he didn't? They argue that his revelation has been corroborated by so many people who claim to have lived in the same estate as EMEKA and Emma back then. And from the violent and vicious voice notes making the round, it is pretty obvious that EMEKA IKE has anger issues. What again do you think about this argument? Let us know down in the comment section. Do you believe that Michael is not saying the whole truth? Do you doubt that EMEKA IKE was abusive physically to his wife? Because he has come out severally in several interviews to say that he never ever laid a finger on Emma in the course of their marriage and even after. Let me get your thoughts down in the comment section. And lastly, on the debate whether Michael should have come out to speak publicly against his father and throw his weight behind his mom, many people, especially the men, have condemned Michael for this, saying that he didn't act as a man. He didn't play the role of a man. He is supposed to stay neutral. He shouldn't meddle in his parents' issues. He's supposed to act in the capacity of an arbitrator, a mediator, a conciliator, not to take sides. They were like he exhibited the highest form of ingratitude for a man that cared for him and saw him through school. They condemned his choice of words. How dare he use such words on his dad? This guy. You're calling your father this guy? You don't disrespect your father. Your father is your father. They were highly disappointed in Michael's actions and his choice of words. But on the contrary, once again, these other set of people who have thrown in their support for Michael and Emma have argued that ever since this divorce happened over 10 years ago, EMEKA has been the only one speaking. Emma has been quiet. Michael has been quiet. EMEKA had every opportunity to go through that interview without bringing his family business in, without bringing his ex-marriage in. He is married. Why can't he move on? And just the one time this other side chose to speak, you condemn them? That must be meant. They were like, this issue is no more domestic. It's not a child's play. It has gotten to threats. It has gotten to death threats. Threats to physically harm. Threats to crush. Threats to shoot. And you expect the man to just sit back there and cross his legs until when something bad happens, then this same set of people that are condemning him will be the one to come out and say, oh, why didn't he speak up when all these threats were happening? Why didn't he do anything to protect his mother? Why didn't he defend his mother? These are the same people that would condemn him. Human beings are impossible to please. As impossible as evading the eventuality of death. They were like, with these voice notes making the rounds, in saner climes, in developed countries, EMEKA IKE shouldn't even be walking free. Those are obvious threats to life. Why is he so bitter and vindictive and angered even after 10 years? You are married, you have a wife, you have more children with your wife. This lady is not married, she's just on her own. Why are you still hunting her down? They supported Michael. That Michael has acted like a man by standing firm behind his mother and protecting her against danger. At least now EMEKA IKE knows that the whole world knows about his threats, so he would think twice even before acting on them. Unlike then, when he believed that, oh, the world sees him as an angel, then he can keep doing those things on the ground and nobody knows. It's good everything has been shed to light. They supported him for what he did. What do you think about this? Do you think that Michael should have stayed away, or do you think that it has become overdue for him to get involved? Drop your thoughts and your comments about what you think on this point and every other issue, every other points that have been mentioned. Before I close this video, yes, I have become privy to plenty of messages, shocking messages, plenty testimonies, and plenty first-hand accounts by people who experienced it. Some came on the grounds of anonymity, while some were pretty open about it. But I can assure you that with time, the whole truth will be revealed, because the truth never stays hidden forever. So keep sharing your thoughts, keep commenting, and keep watching this space, because there definitely will be more coming your way. So yes guys, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here or if you're just seeing me for the first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezerville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.